Today, Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 29th chapter, text number 25. Here, Kapiladev is instructing to Mata Devhuti about details of devotional service. So, in this verse, Kapiladev is explaining to Mata about how to do deity worship and why to do deity worship, worshipping the deities. So, Kapiladev is saying, अर्चदव आर्चये तावद् ईश्वरं मां स्वकर्मकृत् यावान्नावेदास्वरदि सर्वभूतेष्व अवस्थितम्. Archa ado, beginning with deity worship. Archayet, one should worship. So what is that? So performing his prescribed duties, one should worship the deity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead until one realizes my presence in his own heart and in the heart of other living beings as well. So, when we do deity worship, slowly and steadily, we develop attachment for Krishna. And when we develop attachment for Krishna, we start seeing Krishna within the heart of every living entity. So, here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains about the deity worship. Worship of deity of Supreme Personality of Godhead is prescribed here with even for the person who are simply discharging their prescribed duties. These prescribed duties for the different social classes of man, Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Kshatriyas and Shudras, and for different ashramas, Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. So worship of deity is prescribed for every varna and every ashram. Everybody should do deity worship. One should worship the deity of Lord Krishna until one appreciates the presence of Lord within the heart in every living entity. In other words, one should not be satisfied simply by discharging his own duties properly. There is something more to it. He must realize his relationship and relationship of all the living entities with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, performing your duties is good, but more important along with that is that you have to understand your relationship with Krishna and everybody else's relationship with Krishna. We all are part and parcel of Krishna. If he does not understand this, then even though he discharges his duties properly, it is simply laboring without profit. So, if we cannot come to that understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is situated in the heart of all the living entities, and if we just keep on doing our duties, then that is fruitless, because the purpose of all is that by doing all the dharmas, all the karmas, our idea is that we should come to understanding that Krishna is within the heart of everybody. The word Swakarmakrit in this verse is very significant. Swakarmakrit is one who engages in discharging his prescribed duties. That is the meaning of the word Swakarmakrit. So one should understand this word very clearly, that one who is engaged in prescribed duty is called as Swakarmakrit. It is not that one who has become a devotee of Lord or who engages on devotional service should give up his prescribed duties. No one should be lazy under the plea of devotional service. So if you are doing devotional service, doesn't mean that you give up your karma. So you should not be lazy. So some people say, oh, I'm doing this, so I cannot do, I'm doing deity worship, so I cannot do my duty. That is not there. One has to do swakarma. Like Arjuna, his duty as a kshatriya was to fight. So that is his swadharma. He must do it. One has to So now we are going to understand this verse in detail through a presentation. So here in this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, 29th chapter, in this verse, Kapila Dev is explaining about the universal presence of Lord Krishna and our duty. So integrating swakarma, prescribed duty, with Krishna consciousness. So here in the verse it is said that Archadav archaye tavad ishwaram mam swakarmakrit yava naveda swardi surabhuteshu avastita. So while performing one's own prescribed duties, one has to understand that Krishna is within the heart of all the living entities, and one has to do also at the same time deity worship, worshipping the form of Lord. Hmm. So here Srila Prabhupada ji explains the method and the goal. So the action we have to perform is performing prescribed duties as a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, or as a brahmana, vaishya, kshatriya, shudra, whatever is your duty, you have to perform. And at the same time, one should also worship Lord Krishna in the form of deity. Deity worship is very important. And then slowly and steadily, the realization will develop. And what is that realization? The realization is that Krishna is present in the heart of all the living entities. So the formula is that we have to follow the discipline of deity worship and the prescribed duties. And then one day it will be revealed that Krishna is within the heart of everybody. So what is Swakarmakrit? So Srila Prabhupada explains, Swakarmakrit means one who engages in his specific prescribed duties without neglect. And here you can see that there are 4 varnas and 4 ashramas, okay? The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Brahmanas are intellectual, Kshatriyas are administrators, Vaishyas are merchant or farmers, and Shudras are laborers. So across all the stages, these 4 ashramas are all there. So in the Vedic social system, Varnashram system, duties are determined by one's psycho duties, according to one's karma varna, and ashrama is according to his duties and not by the birth. So spiritual life is not about abandonment of one's prescribed duty. It is the perfection of the role. So somebody say, oh, I have become a spiritual. Doesn't mean that he give up his job. It is very important that one performs his role, prescribed duties perfectly. Now, false renunciation. There is a trap. So what is the false renunciation? False renunciation means that some people, they say that I have started doing the devotional service, so I will not do my prescribed duty. So Srila Prabhupada says, no one should be lazy under the plea of devotional service. One should not neglect one's responsibilities, whatever the responsibilities you have taken. Maybe you are a father or a mother or a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer, whatever it is. So there is no license for neglect. A devotee does not mean the devotee neglects his duties. Being a devotee is not an excuse for abandoning worldly responsibilities. That is very important here. Srila Prabhupada is saying integration is very important. So what is that? So execute devotional service according to prescribed duties, not instead of them. So that is very important. And professionalism. Negligence in one's profession or family duties is not a sign of spiritual advancement. Very, very important. So if you are, you have any role or responsibility as a professional or as a father or a mother, whatever it is, you have to do that duty 100% without neglecting it. So there is a dual discipline here: archanam, deity worship, and at the same time one has to do swakarma. Swakarma means your prescribed duties. Both, it goes hand in hand. So In the morning sadhana, one has to do worship Krishna, remembering Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then one has to also follow the field of action, career, family, maintenance, social contribution. Both goes hand in hand. Spirituality and swakarma both goes hand in hand. So logic is that the worship clarifies the consciousness for duty. So when we are doing the deity worship, we are worshipping Lord Krishna. At the same time, we are doing our karma. So this deity worship will clarify our mind, make ourself very clean, and our karmas also become clean and perfect. So the duty purifies the heart of worship. So both are important, both are interdependent. Huh? So uh, in this verse, it is mentioned that one has to do the deity worship until one progresses gradually in the spiritual realization. So spiritual advancement is not measured by the number of years you are practicing Krishna consciousness, but the spiritual advancement is measured by your shift in the vision. We worship the form of Lord in the temple so that our advancement in spiritualization is that gradually we understand that there is Krishna within the heart of everybody. If one keeps on worshipping the deities but do not respect anybody or do not understand that there is Krishna within the heart of everyone, then that person is neophyte. He has not advanced in his life in Krishna consciousness. That is very important. So that is has to be shift in the vision. Our advancement in Krishna consciousness means shift in the vision. If you are a spiritualist, which means that you are seeing spirit, soul, Atma, and Paramatma within the heart of everybody. So it's called Krishna is there within everybody's heart. Swaradi, Paramatma. So one should worship the deity and gradually realize presence of Krishna within the heart of everybody. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridasannivishto matasmriti gnanam apohanancha. So Krishna is there within everybody's heart. Krishna is inside and Krishna is outside. Both the places. Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha. Everybody, Krishna is there. So now people are working very hard, they are doing their karma, but they are not advancing in Krishna consciousness, spiritual realization. Then that is called as labor without profit. It's like discharging your duties properly, yes. You're worshipping deities, yes. And then if you do not realize Krishna within the heart of everybody, that is also not good. So that is so two ends of stagnation. One is doing work but not worshipping Krishna, and second is doing the work, worshipping Krishna, but do not realize that Krishna is within the heart of everybody. So both are ends of stagnation. So ritual means realization. So once you do deity worship, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you worship Lord Krishna, do Arti, Kirtan, Puja, Seva. What is the ultimate purpose of that? Ultimate purpose is that we should realize that Krishna is within the heart of everybody and we should respect everybody and worship everybody. Respect and honor everybody. And that is very important. So this is the applied vision in daily life. Recognizing the divinity in an adversary changes the nature of interaction. It moves from ego conflict to service. So when we realize that, oh, there is Krishna within the heart of everybody, then there is no ego. Then we cooperate, service. And the mundane work, viewing one's labor not as a chore, but as an offering to Krishna, who is situated within the heart. So the gap between the material life and spiritual life closes when one visualizes that Krishna is within the heart of every living entity, right? So our life has to be integrated life. So what is that integrated life means? Duty, we have to do our duty, swakarma, at the same time worship Krishna, and third is that realize that Krishna is within the heart of everybody and respect everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. So that is the integration of human life. Huh? So here the verse says, Yava Naveda Swardi Sarva Bhuteshu Avastitam. Until one realizes my presence in his own heart and in the heart of other living entities. So then it is successful. Then our Krishna consciousness is successful. Otherwise, so purpose is that universal presence. That is very important. And that is what is mentioned here in this verse, that once you start with the deity worship, then you do your karma, engaging in your prescribed duties, not to be lazy. One should not give up one's role and responsibilities. And slowly and steadily, one has to progress, making sure realize Krishna within our heart and heart of everybody. Sarva Bhuteshu, all the living entities, right? Otherwise, it is just a labor without profit. You're working hard, but you will not get anything out of it. So, our ultimate vision is that work without laziness, worship without routine, and see the divinity everywhere. Swakarma Krit, right? So, that is the purpose of this shloka. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।